These are another question. This question is also a very important question and obviously harder than the previous one. If you struggle with the previous one, then there's a high chance that you will struggle in this one more than that, because this one is actually a little bit higher. Still, I will try my best to help you. So let's get to here. The question is same. So go to the passage at first. In her poetry collection, Thomas and Beulah, Rita Dobb. So in her poetry collection, Thomas and Beulah, Rita Dobb interweaves the titular characters' personal stories with broader historical narratives. So I hope you all know there is a trick of SED that if you don't know, like if you find harder words that you don't know the meaning, just cross out them. Okay, it would be easy. In her poetry collection, Thomas and Beulah, Rita Dobb interweaves. That's a really really hard word, and I don't know. Although I know, but let's assume I don't know. So how can we answer this answer's word? We all know weeb means right, and inter means internal. So there is something maybe we can say weebing internally, something like that. Still, we don't know the meaning, so let's just cut this word. That's it. Rita Dobb, the titular character, personal stories with broader historical narratives. She places Thomas' journey. We can see places is a word, and I hope now you can get a similar connection. What can be used here? What does this word mean actually? Interweave means like places, something like that. Or like connected, the titular character, personal stories with broader historical narratives. I hope you get that. She places Thomas's journey from the American South to the Midwest in the early 1900s within larger context of the Great Migration. Dash, Dope shares events from Beulah's personal life against the background of the US civil rights movements. Stop. We have seen, believe it or not, we are going to make a lot of mistakes just because you didn't write the notes. Why? Because, get back to the question, I gave you a note here, right? What is that note? Watch out for dates, time, and names. Specifically names. Logo, watch out for the names. So let's look out for the names here. Where is the question? Yeah, here. Watch out for the names here. In her poetic collection, Thomas and Beulah's, there are a lot of names here, and I'm going to highlight them. Thomas and Beulah, Rita Dope, Rita Duff or Dope, I don't know, whatever it's called, so never mind. Thomas, this is Thomas' journey. Now she starts talking about Thomas, the first character of this poetry collection. Thomas' journey from the American West to Midwest, blah, 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 blah. And now she talks about Dope. See, they are talking about two different characters, not the same character. And a lot of people are going to make mistakes about this thing. So, now let's see what are they doing here. As we can see, Thomas's journey from personal American South to Midwest in the early 1900s. What are they doing? She's discussing about Thomas's journey and from somewhere to somewhere, and there's a date, the early 90s, within Great Migration. And what is about DOP? We have seen that there is Thomas's journey. She's discussing about Thomas's journey here. And what did she discuss about DOP? DOP sets events from Beulah's personal life against the backdrop of the US civil rights movement. So, we can see there she discussed about Beulah, she discussed about Beulah's life about regarding the civil rights movement. So what can we do here? We have discussed everything, and I already told you if you see something like dates, names, you have to look for similar events or not. Are these events similar? Maybe in one way or another, because what she discusses here, Rita Dobb interweaves the titular character's personal stories with broader historical narratives. So are she doing the same thing with both of them? Let's see. She plays Thomas's journey from American South to Midwest in the early 90s with a larger concept of Great Migration. Great Migration is a historical narrative, and Great Migration is a personal story, also with the historical narratives, American South to Midwest. So these also kind of say like she already discussed that. That means the claim that she claimed here that Rita Dobbs interweaving, the claim she is discussing it here. She's discussing her claims around these parts here. We get that parts, I hope. And now what does she say here? Dobbs says events, personal life, civil rights movement. This is a clear evidence of what she has said here. So we can say like this the first line is almost like her claim, and the second two lines is almost like her evidence, right? The next two lines is almost like her evidence, and the first line is like her claim. I hope we all get this explanation that I have told you. And now the thing is, what is the question? The second line is also an evidence. The third line is also an evidence. They want to see the transition. What transition can we use here? So let's get to here. Specifically, can we use it specifically? We all know more or less what we specifically does, right? So obviously this one is not going to be going to sit here. Thus, this is like a cause and effect. We have seen that this is a claim and this is an evidence, right? So obviously this is not a cause and effect relation. So this is also we cannot use that either. Regardless, we may not know what does regardless mean. So let me help you. In order to answer that, we have to say that regardless. Remember that regardless, also however, also in contrast, then by contrast, then there is nevertheless. They're all similar. They are all used. They have like similar different meanings. But I told you right at the beginning, don't go for a specific meaning of specific transitions. Use for techniques. If you see regardless, nevertheless, however, in contrast, by contrast, they mean the same thing in SAT, which means contrast. Remember that. And we can see these two are both are evidence, not contrast with each other, and they both support the claim. So obviously these two are not contrasting with each other. So we cannot use this either. Using the elimination process, we have left similarly. Is it the right answer? Are we sure? Let's see. For the second line is evidence, the third line is also an evidence. So we can see in terms of evidence, they're actually similar. So yeah, that's how we can say this line is similar. This question is similar with, I mean, the third line is similar with the second line. That's why we can use it similar here. Is it the right answer? Let's check. Yeah, correct answer is D. And this is also the question for, this is also the answer key for from College Board. If anyone doesn't understand what I said, you can go for here. I'm leaving it here. Take a picture or whatever you want. Read this thing. If you didn't understand my explanation, go for it.